Hi everyone, my name is Christina and I'm an implementation consultant at ProSymmetry. In this video, we'll talk about a common use case in which a Tempus user wants to plan allocations, but with the net availability of their team or department in mind. The best way to accomplish this in Tempus will be to pull in the net availability calculation into the bulk project allocation flat grid, or to view your team's net availability within the resource management tile. So let's take a look at how this works in Tempus. Okay, I'm in Tempus now, and the first place I'm going to go is the bulk project allocation flat grid tile. Here's where I want to show you how you can bring net availability into your view as you are in real time making allocation changes across multiple resources and projects. So I have created a view for myself out here. That's something you can do as well by accessing your view center here. But what I have chosen to pull in is the full calendar year. So that's my date range. I have also chosen to use the resource mode with the flat grid to pull in some specific resources and their existing allocations. I'm specifically filtering on a couple of departments here. And then I have chosen to organize this data by grouping all of the resources and allocations by their department first, and then the resource name. So I'm creating some buckets here. The next thing I did is went to my options with the gear icon and chose to, number one, toggle on the resource heat map, which I always recommend. And then I have chosen to toggle on show net availability. Net availability, of course, is the calculation that takes the capacity of the resource minus their allocation. So we want to see where are the gaps? Where are my team as a whole, where are they over allocated or under allocated and maybe have time to give towards projects? What's great about the flat grid is that you can pull in multiple months at a time and look far into the future to really understand the landscape and where those gaps exist. So as I expand the buckets here, I can see this net availability has been pulled in as a row so that I can see for any given month how far over or under capacity is the entire research and development group. So for example, next month they look like they are pretty over allocated. They are over by about 11 FTEs for the month based on their net availability. So this is taking into account the entire group's capacity minus the entire group's allocations. As I expand further into the individual resource levels, there will be that net availability pulled in at an individual level as well to see for Helen in this example, how far over or under allocated is she in each month as well, if I want to get a more granular look. Of course, this being the flat grid is where I can make the allocations in real time with the added information of the net availability all in one place. So I can click into all of the cells here, as you're probably aware, and make my adjustments with that information in mind. So this is a great view to see where those gaps may exist. The next place in Tempus I can go to get a good view of how I can plan allocations with the net availability of my teams in mind is within the resource management tile, and specifically on this net availability tab. I like to say that this can kind of be used as a reporting center to give you a way to view your resources, capacity, allocations, and net availability in one place. This is specifically where you're coming to view that information, not necessarily edit the allocations, but it can help you get a good idea of the landscape. You can create views in this tab just like you can in the flat grid. So I have saved one for myself called net availability. I've chosen the date range that I want to look at, and I've chosen to filter for the specific kinds of resources I want to pull in. So I'm grouping them by department. And I also, within this dropdown, have chosen to toggle on the net availability. So again, I can see for each department how over or under allocated are they based on this net availability calculation. So all of their capacity minus all of their allocations. As I expand the buckets, I have the total row here to understand for the entire group what that gap analysis might look like. And then, of course, I've got the net availability of each individual underneath as well. So this is a great view as well to get just an idea of the overall under or over allocations by department. So this wraps up the use case video on how to plan allocations with net availability in mind. If you need additional information, I would recommend reaching out to your Tempus representative or check out our Help Center for more videos just like this one. Thanks so much and have a great day.